Alrighty, vlog 25, half marathon training. It is morning. I hate running in the morning. But I have to run in the morning today because it's my long run. I got 10 miles to do, which will probably take me a bit over 2 hours, realistically, if I'm going at an easy pace. And this afternoon I have appointments to go look at some houses with my hubby about an hour from our house. So I have to get my long run in earlier in the day. Today I am at my favorite little trail. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of lay out my strategy real quick, tell you some new equipment I'm gonna be trying out, and then we're gonna get going because I don't want to take too long today. I gotta get going. I am not gonna be taking my selfie stick with me today on the runs because I don't want to haul it. And I'll explain to you why it would be more difficult to haul it as well, because I am not taking my belt with me today, most likely. I'm trying out something new. First things first, my plan for today's run. I'm going to do the first 5 miles all in one go today, provided nothing changes that. Something could change that because the weather is a little, it doesn't say I'm supposed to get rained on, but it is quite windy and the wind is quite icy today. So that's not terribly fun. That's part of the reason I chose to do the trail, because it has a lot more trees and it's a little bit narrow. So I'm hoping that'll block some of the wind and make it a little more tolerable. So I'm hoping to do 2.5 miles out, 2.5 miles back. That's the length of this trail anyway. So it's about as far as I can go. On one round. That will knock out my first 5 miles. Then from there, we're going to assess kind of how I'm feeling and such, and then go from there. If something changes, my shoes start giving me problems, or I'm running out of water quicker than I planned, or I'm not feeling very well, I may change that and have to pivot. But that's the plan for the beginning. And then from there, I plan on only doing about 2 miles out, 1 mile out, 1 mile backs until the end of the run, which would be 2 more rounds of 2 miles and then 1 mile total. So a half mile out, half mile back. This is getting so jumbled, but that's the plan. I want to knock out the biggest chunk at the beginning and then kind of go from there based on how I'm feeling. I've got tons and tons of water for reloading my hydration solution that I have with me today. And we're going to talk about that next because I'm trying out some new tech. Can you call it tech? Gear. We're trying out some new gear. So, in light of the fact that the road half marathon that I'm going to be doing does not allow hydration vests, and I realized the other day while on a 5 mile run in 65 degrees sunny weather, which is not even all that hot, that I go through my 17-ounce water bottle that fits on my hydration vest, hydration belt, which they do allow for the road half marathon. But one, I hate the belt. It's not very comfortable. It limits me to always having to wear a shirt. I can't ever have my midriff showing because it lands right where my midriff would be and it's itchy. So that limits me there as far as being able to cool off and remove my shirt. Doesn't carry enough water and isn't particularly comfortable. I'm trying a alternative option. I've got 2 handhelds. I've tried running with a water bottle before in my hands and I hated it. But I believe that these will solve both of the main reasons why I hated it. So we're going to test it out. Because the reason it didn't work for me before is because I only had 1 water bottle. So it was lopsided and that drove me nuts. I had to keep switching hands and it just, I didn't like that. The other thing I didn't like is that I actually had to grip it the entire time, which led to my hands not being able to be relaxed while I was running. However, these guys, having 2 of them will solve the lopsided issue. And these guys, I don't have to grip. Like they feel quite comfortable. I also love that they're insulated, which means the water should actually stay cooler even though it's up against my warm hand the entire time. It has these great little pockets, which has enough room for me to fit a couple gels, a spare pair of socks, my blister kit, my cards, and my phone, between the 2 of them. Not on just one of them. But between the 2 of them, I can fit some of my solid cookie snacks. I can fit a tube of electrolyte, tabs. I can fit my phone. I can fit my little blister kit. I may as well show you my blister kit since I have it accessible for once, real quick before we get started. I don't want to dawdle too long because I really got to get going on this if I'm gonna have time to do stuff. But it's just like this little tiny plastic case, and I've got moleskin and duct tape and some of those fancy blister bandages that are like the best and have like anesthetic in it or whatever. I've also got I don't know if it'll focus. I've got a needle, which I have sterilized with, I sterilized it with Flame, and then I also went ahead and overdid it by dipping it in alcohol solution with the cork in it, and I soaked the cork in alcohol originally and then let it dry, so there wasn't germs anywhere on the end of the needle. And that's that, because you really don't want an infected blister. If you do have to pop your blister, it's a long race. Sometime in the near distant future, since summer is coming, I plan on doing a little bit of a experiment with different tapes. Okay, I'm gonna be condoning something that's not a good thing to do. So don't follow my example unless you know what you're doing, because I don't know what I'm doing. But it's not an uncommon practice in trail races to use duct tape on one's feet when you get blisters and such. Or using things like super glue to fill your blisters. I personally don't recommend that one. I have tried that one. It works, but it's really not fun getting your socks back off unless you had like 20 minutes to wait for the glue to fully dry before you put your socks back on. So just a heads up on that one. Be aware that may work in some instances. The super glue companies do not condone using their glue on your skin. And don't try to put it just over your blister. By the way, if you do ever decide to try that, it just peels right off your skin and then takes the blister skin with it. I've experimented with that before. I personally don't like the super glue thing, and don't plan on using it again in the future, but I did experiment with it. But I am planning on perhaps doing an experiment sometime in the near distant future, since I tend to be prone to blisters in the summer, of what waterproof duct tapes and tapes that you can get at like Home Depot and stuff, or on Amazon, actually will stick to your skin when your skin is damp and moist and waterlogged and pruny from being in your shoes on a long run in the summer, because Band-Aids don't stick to your skin when your skin's like that and when it's wet. So, and moleskin doesn't stick very well either. So I'm going to be doing some experiments with that in the future. If you choose to follow my example and practice that, do so with caution, and it's your own dang fault whatever happens to you. Because I have no clue. There could be chemicals and stuff in these tapes, like in the glue from the tapes, that shouldn't be absorbed through your skin. All sorts of stuff. You might have skin sensitivities. Who knows? So if you're going to do that, do it at your own risk. I will be doing it at my own risk. I am aware of possible consequences, and it's my own dang fault. But anyway, I'm going on way too long. I got to get going. Gonna test these guys out. Gonna go as far as I can on this first lap before coming back to the car. And we're gonna go from there. People are starting to arrive at the trail, and I don't want to be overheard and stuff. The weather is not the nicest today. I'm not looking forward to the weather, but I'm sure once I warm up, it will be fine. Once I get going. So I'm gonna take off. I have alternative shoes. Before I quit recording, I forgot the other thing, because I always go over my shoes. I'm wearing the Nike Wild Horse 7s today to start. I'm hoping that they will work for me for the entire run, because I would like to be able to wear them for my trail race next Sunday. Oh my gosh, the wind is so bad and icky. It's like rattling my car. But I've got those initially, and then should there be problems with those along the run here, I've got two alternatives. I've got my Asics Fuji Light 2s, as well as my Hoka Speed Goats. So if I have to change back into those when I get back to the car at any point because the shoes I'm wearing don't work, I can. Or if they're giving me blisters or something like that and I just need to switch into a shoe that's going to rub me on a different spot, then I have that. But I also have my blister kits in my doodads. So if I need that, oh, this is gonna be fun to figure out how to get snacks out on the run. Anyway, I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna put my gator on. I'll talk to you later. Sorry for the angle. I just wanted to try to get some sort of thing recorded. I have realized quite quickly on the run that those handheld water bottles are not for me. So I've come back to the car to switch out for the belt so that I can practice getting used to it. And we're getting some good practice with snafu today because I had been fidgeting with my belt settings the other day in an attempt to see if I could get it to sit lower on my hips. And I couldn't. But I forgot to set it back to where it actually fits around my waist. So I'm having to deal with that. There we go. Okie dokie. Got that. Got my keys. I'm gonna blow my nose real quick before I get out there and get going again. Oh boy, my average time is going up, 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 up. I gotta get going. I gotta move quick. And of course, I have to pee again. I've only gone like 20 times today, but I'm gonna get out there. I think I am gonna be doing 2-mile loops to simulate the race course. All right, sorry for the weird angle. I am trying really hard to get out of here. Oh, I'm losing my pace, I'm losing my pace. My pace is falling off. I am back at the car. I just refilled my water. I've just re-upped how many gels I have in my pack. And I'm doing a little bit of an experiment with putting, what the heck was that? With putting a pair of socks on over my other socks because I am getting a little bit of some hot spots and the beginnings of some blisters because it's warmer today and my feet are sweating more than normal. They say that 2 socks makes it worse. However, from my past experience, I've not had that been the case, but we will see today. I am halfway done with the run, so I'm going to start doing just a mile out and a mile back each time and see how that goes. All right, bye-bye. Okay, done with the 10 miles. That was painful today. I'm going to record the end of this vlog as I drive. So, because I want to get home and take a shower. I want to mend my feet because it is back to the time of year when I need to be lubricating my feet before I go on any runs longer than like 4 miles. I was getting the worst hot spots. It just, after about mile 6, the rest of the run just felt like I was running on hot coals. I started getting a little bit of a blister on a couple of toes, like on the tip of my one toe that's next to my big toe, and then on the side of one of my big toes. And then my my toe box cramps were giving me real trouble for like the entirety of like mile 9 out of 10. But then I made it back to my car with like 1 mile left to go. So I took off the extra pair of socks. The extra pair of socks experiment was a failed experiment. That did not help at all. In fact, it seemed to make it worse because it then made my toe box cramp up because my toes were being squished together with extra padding inside my shoe. So I will know not to do that again. I'm gonna do some more experimenting with using Vaseline on my feet, like I usually do once the weather starts warming up at all. Once it starts getting like in the high 50s to low 60s and up, I have to just smother my feet in Vaseline before each run, and then that seems to help quite a bit with that hot spot problem I tend to get on the bottom of my feet. It just, it feels like my feet are on fire. But anyway, the majority of the run went well. I was struggling a little bit to keep my pace under what I needed to keep it under. I was just still a little bit sore from Tuesday and stuff. So anyway, I ended the run 10 miles at an average pace of 13:12 a mile. So a couple seconds under what I needed minimum for what I was aiming for. I definitely decided that those handheld water bottles are not going to work for me, so I'm going to return those and get like the $82 back that those were after tax between the two of them. So those did not work for me. I switched back to the belt, and the belt was actually working pretty decent. I'm wondering if I can't find like a soft flask water bottle at REI when I go to return the other things that will hold a little bit more than 17 ounces, but still fit in that Nathan hydration belt. So that's going to be kind of my next thing. The other reason I'd want to do that is I hate the nozzle on the bottle that goes with that belt. It is terrible because when the bottle's not super squeezable, it's like hard plastic, which makes it hard to squirt water into your mouth. You can't really do that when the nozzle's unlocked. But if you suck on the nozzle when it's unlocked, trying to get some water out, it like creates a vacuum effect and then closes the nozzle again. I hate that water bottle. So I gotta find a different one. That one's just a nightmare. I've resorted to, like, when I run using that water bottle, I only drink water when I take a walk break, and I literally just unscrew the cap and drink out of it instead of trying to drink out of the stupid little nozzle on that thing. But anyway, this is turning into a long vlog. I'm gonna wrap it up. My eye is burning for some reason. I'm getting sweat in it. But I'm gonna head home. I'm gonna do some recovery stuff. Maybe take a nap if at all possible before I have to drive out to look at houses today, and we'll go from there. If you're watching and you're a runner too, I hope that you have a good run this weekend, or runs this weekend.